Hey guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at my top 10 signature items. This is one that's been asked for a lot, talking about signature items, and I couldn't go through all of them, so I thought I'd do a top 10 and see how we go. So let's get into the video. Okay, so quick disclaimer before we get into it. I have not tested all these signature items. This is a lot of theory crafting, talking to people, hearing what works, and all that good stuff. So they're not going to be in any particular order, like I said. It's just these are 10 that I really like. I'm really pretty much ignoring level 10 upgrades and base upgrades. I feel like any hero you get to Mythic or Ascended, you should be pretty comfortable to get them to just unlock their signature item. I feel like it's worth it in just about every case. As for level 10, once you get a little bit higher, you get so many of the purple upgrade tokens that level 10 is, if you think it's half decent, just go for it. It's not going to be the end of the world. You start buying them for gold from the shop. I can have a look here, see if we've got it in there. As you can see, you start buying them for gold. It's not too bad. You do also end up getting the gold ones in there at the shop, but they're a bit rarer and you get them a bit later. So the level 20 upgrade is more important. So like I said, level 20 and 30 is what we're going to be looking at. The first thing I want to cover is Shamira, because a lot of people use Shamira as the carry hero. I don't think she's really that worth it. Once again, if she is your main carry hero for most of it, feel free to take her up to 10. I'd probably avoid 20. It is nice, but it's not as nice as other options. So that's Shamira out of the way, because I know a lot of people ask her about it. I'd avoid anything above 10 personally, but up to you. So the first one on my list we're going to go through is Thalia, and she is the only Celestial / Hypergean in this list. I would have included Ziz if I thought his was good enough too. However, the others are just more rare to get. You can obviously get Thalia from the Challenger store, so I thought she's relevant to keep in it. So let's take a look. The main one is going to be 30, but I'd push her 20, 30, like whatever you can. And eventually when you get her Ascended, that's when you get the benefit. As you can see, mine is level 29. I'm pushing hard. I'm trying to get there. Hopefully we will make it. But as you can see, basically she gains defense based on her attack rating, which is nice, but level 30 is where it gets really interesting, and I can't wait to make this video. But enemies that attack Thalia will begin to bleed for 2 seconds. Ability cannot be stacked, which would be insane if it could. Enemies will lose health equal to 70% of their attack rating per second, and their health recovery rate will be decreased by 70%. So you get health recovery and you get some decent damage coming out of that as a bleed, as long as they attack her. And because she pushes the lines, she's going to be getting attacked a lot. So it's not too bad. Also, a little bit of life leech as you upgrade it is really nice for her as well as an added bonus, plus the dodge. Like, life leech and dodge are really nice to have, especially on her. So that is the Thalia. Definitely one, if you are like focusing her and, you know, using stargazers to get her and you think you'll get her Ascended like I did and like I have done, she's been the first one that I pushed to 30, and it's going to be a long wait for me after that. So the level 31 is one you really want to think about carefully, but she's one I'd take to 20 anyway, even if you're taking someone else to 30. Just my opinion on her. Next one we're going to look at is another one which I do have, so I'm going to go do the ones that I have that are on the list, because like I said, it's in no particular order. The next one is going to be Belinda. Now, Belinda's is really nice. If we look at this, all allies that are receiving the effects of the ability Blessing, which is her attack buff, will have a 40% chance to activate the Divine Retribution ability. This ability can be activated up to 3 times every 5 seconds. Damage dealt by this ability is equal to 40% of the ability's original damage used by the allies. So as you can see, it just basically increases damage at level 20. So I'd take this to level 20 if she is one of your main damage dealers. For me, I'm obviously focusing on Thalia, so she's the one I'm looking at. But Belinda's is still really nice because she is really nice for Riz as well. And as you can see, when you upgrade it, you end up getting more damage, but then you also get energy each time the ability is used. And when it can be used up to 3 times every 5 seconds, that's getting you a lot of energy. So really, really nice ability. Moving on from Belinda. Once again, if you're not focusing her, if Lightbearers isn't your go-to and she's not your main damage dealer, I probably would just leave it and focus on other things. Maybe take it up to like level 10 and leave it there, or just unlock it simply and that can be it. but up to you. There's going to be a lot of up to you in this. Moving on to the next one, number 3, which it's not in any order, but we're going to look at Leica. Now, Leica is one that I hear a lot of people talk about, Leica paired with Forks, and Forks will be later on in this list. We'll go through it, where it becomes like sort of an Icebringer, Firebringer combo from the Labyrinth, where we'll take a look at it. So increases allies' accuracy by 40 while Leica is alive. The base sucks. And then level 10 increases the accuracy by 70. Not too great. Leica, all you need is 20. I wouldn't bother going to 30. An extra 30 accuracy just isn't worth all the investment, in my opinion. But as you can see, level 20 has a big read, raises the damage dealt to the enemy target by 0.2% for every accuracy point that is higher than the enemy's max dodge points, and can be raised up to a maximum of 20% damage. Ability affects all allies excluding mages. So if your main team is mages, it's not going to be as great. But as you can see, you're going to get up to 20% extra damage for your accuracy. The thing I like about this is, I'm going to say it, is Gwyneth. Gwyneth has passives that increase her accuracy, which is really nice, stacked with the accuracy of Leica. I just feel like it's going to be a great combo late game for me. So it's something I'm really looking forward to. But in general, just being able to get that extra damage just from having accuracy, it's going to get you some really nice damage increases. So that is why Leica is on the list. Moving on to number 4, I think this is the 4th one I'm talking about. We're going to look at Iron, and I can't wait to do this guy. I've got enough copies to get him ascended. It's a video coming up, but I am going to invest in this one because the level 30 looks really nice. So we'll go through it. The ability Elemental Surge, which is his ultimate ability, has a chance to cause enemies to become frozen for 2 seconds. The chance of an enemy being frozen are raised if the enemy is already suffering from attack speed reduction, and the enemies are already frozen will no longer be knocked back by the ability. Okay, long read, basically, he can freeze people. And the great thing about that is he has the attack speed slow on an ability that he'll use straight after he pulls them in. So he's going to have the slow one, so he's going to have a good chance to freeze them. As you can see, with skill ups, 10, damage for the ability Elemental Surge is increased against frozen enemies by 30%, which is nice. Damage for the ability Elemental Surge increased by 50%, but level 30 is where it gets real nice. Becomes the enemies get frozen for 4 seconds, which is a really nice CC considering you've also got massive damage out of him. You're getting really good damage, really good control out of one hero, which is absolutely amazing. So level 30 is the big one for this guy, and I'm considering making it the next level 30 that I get after Thalia on this account. So we're going to jump over to another account and have a look at the rest of the heroes. Okay, so over here on the Greatborn account, we're going to look at Pharrell first. I did mention him earlier. His ability is normal attacks will cause an evil spirit to haunt the enemy target if a critical strike occurs. Level 10 upgrade, attack rating for all enemies are reduced by 1.5% and health recovery rates reduced by 10%. For every spirit that is haunting the enemy on the battlefield, this ability may be stacked up to 5 times. Now, this is really nice because all of his abilities are basically tied around making spirits come out and haunt them and reduce their energy. He just becomes an absolute crippling beast because he's reducing their energy with them, he's reducing their attack rating, he's reducing their recovery. He just cripples an enemy team really bad. And as you can see, the next upgrade becomes reduced by 3%. And then also the health recovery 10%, and it can be stacked up to 5 times, which is the same. And I think the next one, yes, level 30 is where it gets really juicy. And this one is one of the ones that I typically don't like, but because it's so good on numbers, I will end up doing it. Is basically because I like it when you get different stuff with the upgrades, like different features, but this one's just a numbers game, and the numbers just really work out well, because this one, as you can see, it stacks up to 8 times, so you get some really nice attack reduction, some really nice health recovery when you're stacking up to 8 times, and you can get 80% health recovery reduction, and also, what's 8 times 3? 8, 16, 24... 24% attack reduction, so it's really nice. Quick maths there. I haven't been at school for like 10 years. Give me a break. But yeah, that's really nice. Really, really appealing. I think he's the next one I'm going to go for on this account. He's probably going to be the first level 30 I go for. So, talking about this account, let's jump into the next Greatborn, and we're going to look at Grizzle. Now, Grizzle is one where level 20 is enough for me, in my opinion. However, level 30 would be really nice. but I feel like other level 30s are more important than his to go for first, if that makes sense. So summons one skeleton warrior every 9 seconds behind the enemy closest to the edge of the battlefield while Grizzle is alive. So every 9 seconds is nice. Level 10 unlock is a no-brainer. If you're going to use Grizzle at all, get him to at least level 10. Level 20 is optimal. Grizzle recovers 10% of his max health when the skeleton warrior dies, and this applies to the ones he summons with his ultimate as well, which is really nice. Level 20 is where it gets really nice, when he starts recovering 20% of his max HP, because it just becomes a lot of healing and gives him a really good amount of sustain. Obviously, if you can get the skeleton warriors coming out every 7.5 seconds, which is the level 30 upgrade, it's going to be nice. But once again, I just the comparison to the benefits of the upgrades to other abilities, other heroes' signature items, I think outweighs this one. So level 20 is a sweet spot for me on Grizzle. The next one we're going to look at is, once again, I also have him, is Rowan. Now, Rowan is just, his is once again just a numbers game, but the numbers look really good. So it's just one of those ones where you just keep upgrading it and it's going to benefit you. I'd probably look at doing a main damage dealer to 30 or something like that first, but definitely in the long game, Rowan is one that I'd really like to get to level 30, because after entering the battlefield, Rowan will set up a stall that now includes an energy potion. When an ally's energy is above 600 points, they will drink the potion, replenish 60 energy points. The energy points will be replenished the energy potions will be replenished each time the stall is set up. So each time the stall is set up, that means he has to use the 3 health potions before he resets up a stall. So you're not just going to get spam energy for everyone, but it's still going to be really nice, because basically as soon as you get a bit above half energy, you're going to go straight to full. This is at level 30. You're going to go straight to full, and you're just going to ultimate. So it's really, really nice. Obviously level 10 and 20, you're getting increases in your energy and with the general unlock as well. But level 30 is going to be really nice, because you're pretty much going to go, it pretty much brings you down to just get just over half, and then you're full and your ultimate. It's really, really nice. Pretty much you can play around with Jura's Call with this one to try and get the right hero to get the potion. But all in all, really, really nice. Okay, so the next ones I'm going to have to search for, so we'll cut and we'll come back with the rest of the heroes. Okay, so next up we have Forks, who is a really nice one. He got a recent buff, so we'll just read through it. For Forks, I see level 20 as what you want to get to. Level 30, just skip it, better options. Level 20 is the key one here for me. Basically, raises the defense rating of all ally heroes by 5% for 5 seconds if they possess more than 60% of their max energy. Affected allies are also impervious to control effects. So obviously, this at base is just fantastic, getting impervious to control effects. But putting it to level 20, defense rating increased by up to 40%. Is really nice. It's just really good help sustain for your team. I feel like this is one that you're not gonna go for real early on, but when you start getting into that late game where you start having multiple heroes ascended and he gets to be one of them, it's just gonna benefit your late game push. I don't actually have him mythic or anything. I just haven't been lucky with copies of him on any of my accounts, but it's one that's really going to help, I feel like, late progression teams, because he is that great CC unit. His ultimate is really beneficial, removing debuffs from your team, buffs from the enemy team, and then also you've got this, which is just going to basically give you more chunkiness and give you immunity to some crowd control, which is just fantastic. So on to the next one. Next up, we have Cirrus. Now, he is one that, once again, is great at 20, amazing at 30, but I'd still leave him at 20 until you're, making, like, you've already made one or two, a main damage dealer or something like that, made a level 30, because it's nice, but it's not the biggest increase. So we'll take a look at the skill. At the beginning of the battle, Cirrus will cause his own max health to increase by 40%. However, his current health after the increase will not be at maximum unless restored. Basically, once you get to level 30, he'll start with half a health bar, but it's going to be, that half health bar is going to be equal to what his full health on like the display page is, like this. So if I had it maxed out, his starting health would be at half health, but it would still be that 495k. Hope that makes sense. And then you can heal up to, with mine here, you can heal up to 990k. which is really nice. It becomes tanky. And level 10 is like the absolute no-brainer if you are using him as a tank. Get him to level 10 without a doubt because it's the really nice effect that you get. At the beginning of the battle, Cirrus will recover 2% of his max health per second over 40 seconds. It's amazing. But the great thing about this heal is basically as you increase his max health, the heal is going to heal for a higher number throughout the time. So that's why it's a really nice one to actually increase to level 30. However, on this account, I'm probably going to leave him at 20 for a fair while, eventually get him to 30, and then progress. I know he's not seen as a very good tank early on, but I really do think late game he's going to be a fantastic tank. And I've heard this from people just because of that pure max health that he can obtain. He's got some nice CC, can get some moderate damage, but yeah, it's just that raw tankiness with a bit of CC makes him just really, really nice. So I am going to take him to 20 next on this account. Really nice, really, really nice signature item. And the final one on the list, I wanted to go for something a little bit different that not everyone would use or may not have considered. I was deciding between Andra and Titus. I decided to go for Andra, and let's take a look why. So this ability, when Andra's health falls below 30%, she activates this ability, allowing herself to recover 10% of her max health every second over 30 seconds. This ability may be used only once per battle. That's really big healing for once you drop low. Obviously, you may get nuked and skip it, but you know, when you fall below 30 and then you start healing that much, you should be pretty solid. And then with the level 20, which is really nice, ability restores 20% of max health per second. That's a lot. When you combine it with the fact that, you know, she's got abilities that increase the healing that she gets. She also has the sweep, which restores 25% over max health per enemy that she knocks down and all that stuff. She got a lot of sustain, but level 30 is where it's at. And if you decided to go with her as your main damage dealer, which I still think is a good option, I think she's a really good carry unit. You'll get the ability can be used. If you decide to use her for that and you take her all the way to 30, you get that the ability can be used twice per battle with intervals of 8 seconds between uses. Now, this makes her absolutely nuts for sustain. Still very susceptible to some CC because if she's getting CC'd, you know, she's not carrying as hard because she won't be dealing the damage, but hopefully this ability will sustain her long enough that she can get the damage out eventually because she shouldn't be dying if you're restoring 20% of your max health every second. I feel like you should survive a fair bit. So that is the last one on the list. There are many, many more good signature items. I just wanted to make a list of 10 because going through every signature item, which is probably what I'd end up doing, would just take forever. So those are some good ones. If you know you've got those heroes, using some of them as your main heroes, I'd be taking a good hard look at. The most common ones I think most people would be looking at, like I feel like Pharrell is just a really great option in general. And then besides that, Thalia, if you build her, she's another great one that I'd really target. And besides those two, Iron's the other one. Iron and Thalia are the two that I'd really take to 30. In my opinion, they just look like the best options because, you know, they're going to be increasing the damage you deal. Iron going to be getting more CC, which is nice. They're my personal top two options to take to 30. All the others, 20 is really nice. So let me know your comments below, because if you think I'm completely wrong, let me know. I'd love to hear what you guys think of the best signature items as well. Get this conversation started with someone, and hopefully we can help people out in the comments. But that is going to be it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next one. Cheers.